From the shadows of the underground, where raw sound meets real stories, this is the Underground Nation podcast. Today's episode brings together a powerful collision of energy, truth, and rebellion. Stepping into the spotlight rising from Portland, Oregon, a band fueled by grit, rhythm, and resistance, Systemic Collapse. Blending punk attitude with ska energy and unapologetic commentary, their music doesn't just entertain, it challenges, questions, and provokes. And guiding this conversation, your host with the ghost, hip-hop artist, storyteller, and voice of the underground, Bounce Ball Boogie. This is more than an interview. This is a deep dive into the mindset, the music, and the movement behind the sound. Welcome to the Underground Nation.
Yo, what's good, Underground Nation? It's your host with the ghost, the wicked word slinger himself, Bounce Ball Boogie. Back inside the Boogie verse for another episode where we shine the spotlight on the real ones, the raw ones, the ones shaking the underground from the basement to the barricade. And tonight, boy, we got a crew coming straight out of Portland, Oregon. The punk ska renegades raising fists, raising volume, and raising hell. These cats bring that crack rock steady, politically charged, socially conscious fire. Songs like Late Stage Capitalism, Fuck the World, War to the State. They got something to say, and tonight, goddammit, we gonna let them say it. So buckle up, tighten the boots, adjust that studded belt, because once we let these boys off the leash, it's gonna get loud. So welcome to the hot seat, Systemic Collapse.
Shit, that was amazing.
Gentlemen, how are you?
That was great.
You guys are great. You fucking kidding me? If you guys haven't listened to these guys' music, you gotta freaking dive in. I've been diving in for the past week, and it's freaking blowing my eardrums. If I miss a couple things you say today, I might have to say it twice.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but thank you guys for taking the time to speak with us. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Doing great. Just surviving in the burned out ruins of Portland, Oregon here.
Burnt out ruins, you say?
Oh, yeah. Haven't you heard? Antifa's overrun the city.
I have not heard. Please educate me. What do you mean Antifa's ran over the city?
I don't know. They're saying they're trying to send troops here a couple weeks ago, and it's fun. Actually, it's fine. Portland's a sweet place. It's great. But the media talks about it being a burned down ruin.
Holy crap. I guess I don't pay attention to the news enough to hear these things. I stay in the underground, in the undervoids. It's really dark down here. I don't really get great reception.
That's okay. That's the more healthy thing to do anyway.
Yeah.
I always thought so.
Yeah, these days especially more so.
The only thing they get worried about is I don't get enough sunlight. They say I need more sunlight, so I do try to peek my head out from time to time.
We don't see the sun too much this time of year here in Portland. It's usually pretty rainy, but occasionally we get some sunlight.
Well, I hope the rain drifts on, floods on the Antifa guys and takes them away so they never come back.
Okay, they're all wearing frog outfits.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. But take us back. Who formed Systemic Collapse, and what moment officially sparked the band into existence?
Well, we formed Systemic Collapse kind of out of the ashes of an old project that me and Ryan started back in 2018.
Really? So it's like a mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. A mummy or, a kind of half on fire phoenix.
I like that one better. I dig it.
Yeah, I moved out to Portland in 2018 and answered a Craigslist ad, actually, looking for a horn player for a shitty ska band. And that was what started Flam. We played in Flam, played a few shows around Portland and whatnot until the pandemic. And then the band broke up during the pandemic. And we reformed, added a new bass player and a drummer, kept going for a while. Our bass player left, and then Systemic Collapse started. We took the best songs. We've been working at being a lot more aggressive, a little bit more fast-paced with the music. Systemic Collapse, we felt that we had a little bit more to say than we were saying with Flam.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the earliest memory each of you has of punk, ska, or underground music really hitting your soul?
Millen No Cigar, hearing it for the first time playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yeah, Tony Hawk? That's one of my favorite video games ever.
Yeah, that shit got me into punk rock early on.
Nice. I remember jamming out to just letting the video game play sometimes, so I could hear the songs.
Oh yeah. For me, a friend of mine from California sent me a a tape with a bunch of collected local ska punk bands, local and national ones in the late 90s there, and wore the tape out in the car and everything, and the old tape player, and played in a ska band in high school for like one show. It was half new metal band, half ska band. Like the horns went off the stage halfway through and turned into a new metal. And then it
before
was
your eyes, just like that.
Oh, it was 1998 and 97 were crazy years there, you know. But I've just loved ska music since then. And actually, for about 10 or 11 years, I played in kind of a metal-tinged ska band in Wisconsin called 4 Aspirin Morning up until I moved out here.
Very sweet. What was that band about?
4 Aspirin Morning was about...
Did you say 4S?
4 Aspirin.
4 Aspirin.
Yeah. It was about drinking.
I think the name is what drew me in there. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we were a lot of fun. We had, guitar solos, like really wicked guitar solos in the songs. It was a lot of fun. We got to play with a bunch of different bands and stuff. But I got a opportunity to move out to Portland, and I have always wanted to move out here and always wanted to get out of Wisconsin. So I had to move out here and decided to, when I moved out here, I wanted to keep the music going. So, met Derek. We've been working together musically ever since.
I like Craigslist. I found a lot of cool people on Craigslist. There's also a lot of crepes on Craigslist.
Yeah. In the Flam days, we had a lot of trouble finding horn players because we would always try Craigslist, and we'd either get people who were just inept or folks who wanted to be Streetlight Manifesto, and we're not virtuosic, so we were not up to.
We weren't back then.
Yeah, we weren't back then. We're a lot better now.
It took a while for us to get good.
Well, good. I'm glad. It's all about progression.
Yep.
But I mean, like the band name there really caught my ears because of just the creativity. I mean, your album titles are heavy and political, and you have some catchy names and titles. But what experiences pushed you into that message-driven lane?
I mean, there's, just living in late-stage capitalism, I guess. There's a lot of, it's a lot more visible in Portland here, the effects of capitalism, and you see a lot of people on the streets. You see a lot of people that are just being failed by our systems, and having, seeing that daily, walking to work while, seeing on the news that, the president's having a fucking, huge, Great Gatsby party, right? It just makes you angry because there should be enough, for everyone, but the system is failing us, and the system is enacting a lot of violence towards, whether intentional or not, towards so many people. And one of the good ways to get out that feeling of not being able to do anything about it is by writing music about it, and by really trying to engage your crowd and engage the public more, and trying to just instead of yelling at clouds, yelling at people that might take something out of your crazy yelling.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's this world beneath the surface, a place where raw talent lives, where voices go unheard until now. Welcome to Underground Nation, the home of the unheard, the stage for the next wave, the movement where artists, entrepreneurs, and creators rise from the shadows and take their place in the spotlight. Head over to underground-nation.com, download the app today, and step inside the experience. Dive into exclusive news articles, unfiltered reviews, powerful podcasts, and a full collection of magazine issues showcasing talent from across the globe. Discover your next favorite artist before the world catches on.
So when you sit down to write a song, what usually comes first? I mean, the anger, the idea, or just the riffs?
first writing a song, the process is more of, we definitely, well, I mean, I guess being the primary writer, it's usually just focusing on like the music at first, but when it comes down to like the actual lyrical process of it, yeah, it's not too hard to write these things, which is kind of a travesty, because it's just things that are very pervasive to our life. Like one of our most recent songs is literally just about just ICE disappearing people on the daily, and just like the corruption of our culture, and how half of our country is convinced this is the way it's supposed to be, and the other half is powerless to do anything about it.
About that,
it's not too hard to pull these topics out of my head. It's a lot of it, and then it's not all written by me. There's every time something gets written, it's more of, I call them skeletons. I bring them to the crew, and everyone kind of puts their flavor on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, what you just said there, I felt it. I felt as you were saying it. Can I ask what's one lyric you've written that still hits you in the chest?
Well, one that I'll say one that we didn't write it, but we used it because we thought it was we thought it was applicable to times, and it was something that I just had read, and it was just a quote by Anne Frank, and we kind of just we roughly paraphrased it, and we're like, you know what, this is the chorus, and it's people.
Terrible things.
Terrible things are happening outside every night and day. Helpless people are being dragged out of their homes as if it's all okay. And it's just kind of just a replication of the fascist times we're living in.
Yeah.
It seems it's kind of a little spooky that these things that we've thought we've grown past as in our culture is reoccurring again.
Right. I definitely understand that. How do you... So then, how can I ask this? How do you balance fun ska energy with the seriousness of your subject matter?
Man,
yeah, some of our songs are a little bit less. Well, I mean, they still have the same sort of message, but they're a little bit more fun. Like "Fuck the World,"
Fuck the world.
Yeah, fuck this shit. I'll take my ball and I'm going home with it. It's a little bit more fun. And then there's the fun, the horn part with that and everything. And then we go into a parody of a Titanic song where I sing about beheading billionaires. So yeah. Well, with the guillotine, specifically Elon, which is how we got a friend of mine, Era of Failure, to do the icon or the album art for Cut It Out based off that song. But it's you can't have everything be super down and serious all the time. So kind of balancing it out with the ska energy, allows us to sneak some fun messages in, while people are dancing, and to get them in there. And also it makes it so it's it's more fun to listen to the albums as a whole if there's progression from kind of depressing and angry to kind of goofy angry.
Yeah, and our song Money Tower, we kind of go with the sarcastic side of things, we're more of maybe we just need to go all in and just accumulate as much wealth as possible, and fuck everything, destroy the planet and just accumulate wealth as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It's you can make a shitty situation sarcastic, and then suddenly it sounds fun.
And suddenly it sounds fun. That's right. So we're just gonna accumulate wealth really quick so we can prepare ourselves for the end.
Yeah.
And dance our way there.
Yeah. My retirement plan is getting a place on the coast and waiting for the tsunami to come.
Oh, you're gonna ride the waves, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Go out like Bodie.
Nice. Well, I support your decision, and I'll ride those waves with you. I've never surfed, but if you're forced to, I guess I'll try. Until the very end, I'll try.
You gotta watch out for them sneaker waves. That'll get you.
Hey, I'm not even familiar, but it doesn't sound fun.
There are waves on the coast, and where they, it seems like a calm day, and all of a sudden there's a giant wave that comes.
Nice.
You gotta watch out for those. They get people every year.
I'm a mountain boy. I'm in Colorado. I'm in Denver specifically.
Oh, nice. I love Denver. I got some family out there and everything.
Nice. You were mentioning kind of the craziness going on in your city, but I remember speaking to other bands out there, and it was always a rebellious type spirit within it. Do you feel that's still sparked?
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's always a huge rebellious spirit in Portland.
I think that's what makes Captain Cheeto so angry about it?
Captain Cheeto.
It's actually fun. There's been an ongoing protest down at the ICE office with people doing dance routines and dancing in frog costumes, inflatable frog costumes and everything. Unfortunately, it's come to the attention of a lot of the kind of right-wing blogospheres and, podcast folks, and they're coming down there now and trying to start fights with everyone and cause issues. So we can't have nice.
What?
Well, I mean, it's not a nice thing, but like,
Why would they want to do such a thing?
Yeah,
I guess I don't get it.
Tired of the chuds after a bit.
They're the pot. Did you say
just the chuds, the Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys, Joey Gibson's, what's his name? That FBI informant guy who was running the Proud Boys was there the other night.
Shit.
But that's just like one little block in Portland. Like the rest of the city is still like really fun. I love the spirit here. It's just there's a huge sense of rebelliousness. There's this really nice sense of kind of consciousness of, the neighborhoods and of, just kind of the community. People help each other out a lot here. It's a lot less cold than people would think, as far as the folks are concerned. Like everyone's really nice, helps people out. Like a lot of times when we do shows, we donate our proceeds to charity. We did a show this year, and we ended up donating $400 to the Oregon Food Bank from the door at a real small venue. So that was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you add that stuff to your EPK. I always try to remind bands, add that stuff to your EPK, because sponsors love to hear that kind of stuff.
Hello, you. Hello, new. Hello, early. Hello, pump, push. Hello, energy, effort. Hello, movement. Hello, goals and real swole, the best you've ever looked. Hello, PRs and PBs. Goodbye, couch sitting and TV, or tired and groggy, lackluster and foggy. Instead, say hello to a new version of you. And say hello to Make Wellness, to see what you really can do.
Yeah, we've brought charity raffles to shows that we've opened before. We like to try and give back to the community as well, because we're all pretty in the band. We're all pretty fortunate, so it's nice to be able to give back what we make from the music if we can.
Very cool.
It's privilege to even just be in a band these days. Just being able to have time to do it is. I'm sure there's plenty of adult kids out there who would love to be in a band, but they're just busy toiling away and barely surviving.
You're saying the most talented musician could be out there stuck in a warehouse right now?
Yeah.
Great, let's save that guy. How are we ever going to find him?
Yeah, we should all just be artists. This is where utopia is within our grasp if we were like willing to actually work for it.
I don't remember who said it the other day, but I remember hearing someone said that the age of the celebrity is dead. Because literally anyone is one piece of content away from blowing the freak up.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like, Nirvana was like right at the end of like bands being able to like get discovered and stuff like that. It doesn't really work like that anymore. Everything is, just hustle culture and social media.
Yeah, hustle culture.
Yeah, people with ska talk about a fourth wave, right? There's like different waves of ska, the first wave in Jamaica, second wave in the 80s and in the UK and somewhat in the US, and then the third wave, which is the more punk ska. And people always talk about, what's the fourth wave going to be? And I think
the wave.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if there is such thing as fourth wave, it's going on right now, and it's all in Spanish. But
it's all in Latin America.
Yeah, the ska is huge in Mexico.
Let me call my mom; she'll translate for us.
Yeah, but I also don't think there's going to be another wave, because music is so there's no like central distribution system anymore, like radio used to be.
Yeah,
now
amalgamous.
Everyone can kind of get into their own like little subgenres, and everyone kind of curates their own music now. So there's not like, going to be another huge like culture wide wave of ska like there was, in the 90s or in the 80s. I don't think, just because there's not that kind of super connected musical culture anymore that we had when there were a lot more gatekeepers, which is kind of fine with me because I think it allows a lot more
You to create your own way?
kind of music genres to blossom and a lot more like kind of really, really cool different types of music to come out there. But you got to work harder to find it and to create it.
That's right. You got to work hard. Going back to hustle culture, I guess. God damn it. So I have a pretty powerful question to ask you guys.
Sure.
When did we riot? How this album was born?
When do we riot?
That album, that one we worked for quite a while. We recorded it in a studio here called Hallowed Halls.
Hallowed Halls.
Hallowed Halls. It's a fantastic studio.
Sounds
great
fun.
engineers.
Welcome to the Hallowed Hall.
It's fantastic. I think Dead Kennedys might have recorded there at some point, but we ended up doing like 2 overnight sessions to record it to Hallowed Halls, which got a little weird in the end. And then, had some friends mixing and mastering with it. But yeah, that was basically a collection of the new kind of Systemic Collapse songs that we wanted to release when we kind of recreated the band from what was left of Flam. And the name When Do We Riot was actually, when we were recreating the band, it was one of the 2 band names that we were trying to decide between, Systemic Collapse or When Do We Riot. And we liked When Do We Riot enough to use it as the album title. I also think it's kind of an interesting question, right? Because at what point in time do things get so bad that there's no choice but to stand up, right?
Yeah, when is this general strike that people keep titillating about actually happening? If you ask me, it's, certain zeitgeist, moment has to happen. Who knows what that is, but something egregious has to happen to where you get, you only need like just a few percent of all Americans to like really cause a lot of change. You don't need like 50% of us. You just need like a few million people who just say, I'm not going to work anymore. It's time to make some change. It's like all it takes. But, it's in America, people can kind of like disassociate and, live in their luxuries, for, as long as they really want. And in most cases. So there has to be a moment of change in order to really like kick people out, to really try to like change things.
Do you believe it's a fear because once they stop going to work and don't pay their mortgage and don't pay their cable and don't pay their phone and just
as is designed. It's designed that way. Like we definitely live like majority of Americans are like in negative net worth.
Yeah, and if you look, there's a lot of countries around the world right now where Gen Z has been kind of standing up and has been sort of rioting and making change. If I'm not mistaken, I think kids just took over or were trying to take over the presidential palace in Mexico. I think that was going on. But they call it the straw hat because all the kids use the straw hat flag from One Piece.
Okay.
The anime.
Yeah, the anime.
Okay. This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which countries had it. I know Mexico, though, Gen Z has been protesting and standing up pretty effectively lately over the corruption of their president.
It's very cool.
But yeah, so to answer your question, when do we riot? Well, when everyone's ready.
When will we be ready? Let's get ready.
It's in Nepal, Peru, Morocco. So it's happening all over. I mean, there's a lot of other terrible stuff happening, but it gives me hope that kids are standing up elsewhere and hope that we can spread some of that here.
Yeah, if anyone's going to save us, it's going to be younger generations.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, what message do you want that album to leave behind, say, 20 years from now?
20 years from now? I hope 20 years from now, it becomes a time capsule of the horrors that history had. And I hope it becomes kind of dated and kind of a joke for something that is no longer the case. I would not mind if this music became like, oh, remember when that happened?
Yeah, remember when that happened? The angry music of that time.
Yeah, like we should all be making music about. Lenny said something funny the other day. That's our drummer. He said we should all be making music about gardening instead.
Garden?
Yeah, like punk rock is a product of times of inequality and injustice. If we had a perfect world, punk rock wouldn't make sense.
It's true. Well, now I'm interested to hear this challenge of the punk ska gardening song.
Yeah. If we get our Star Trek Utopia, I'm changing out the lyrics, just singing how life is awesome and how I'm going to go read a book later.
In my garden.
Yeah. My tomatoes are huge this year.
A recipe
got
for hot.
big.
Yeah, it's a recipe for hot sauce.
Some spicy tomatoes. Wait, is there like a hidden message or an Easter egg or inside joke that your fans haven't caught yet buried in that album?
I don't know. There's like a lot of Easter eggs in let's see that and When Do We Riot? That was our first one, right?
Yeah, just the
I do like a lot of references to like pop culture things. Like in our song Break, we say like blood for the blood god, money for the money gods. And that's a reference to like Warhammer 40K. It's like it's like a tabletop like RPG game, although they make like a bunch of video games on it. It's like something that orcs say, blood for the blood god.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of random little pop culture things.
There's the Titanic overture on the saxophone in Fuck the World. That's a fun little one. And then I sing about beheading billionaires, or Elon Musk specifically. It's not super hidden though. Most of the hidden stuff is just kind of like play on words and what have you, and pop culture references. We haven't like released a hidden track on the CDs or anything yet.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I make a couple Stephen King references in my lyrics. They're there.
Awesome.
This summer, it's all about how you show up. Clean, bold, confident. Every angle, built to stand out. Two-piece energy, made to turn heads. Details that hit, front to back. One piece, two piece, up to 5x. Made for real bodies, real confidence. No distractions. No extras, just the look and how it makes you feel. Only $34.99. Step into your moment. Make a splash. Own the pool.
Sheep to read, they held to the mess that swings the gate and blaming the masses in the way. Choose the strings, they choose the fiction. I'm blend by identity with a leader addiction. There were poems of poems I think I wanted my peace before I break. Money for the blood, God, money for the money, God. Gotta work your left away every fucking night and day. Blood for the blood, God, money for the money, God. Gotta work your left away every fucking night and day. One world without this shit, I run out, just living it. I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it. One world without this shit, I run out, just living it. I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it.
So, I mean, overall, if your band had a mission statement, what would it be?
A mission statement, think it would be to be aware and cognizant of the injustices of our world, and to be patient with people, and to enact as much positive change as you can possibly do, and not to beat yourself up for being powerless for everything else.
Yeah. I'd say the world is fucked, but I have a voice and a saxophone, so let's go.
Yeah.
To party. That's the mission statement.
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Party till the end. So, I mean, you guys kind of said something earlier that kind of been stuck in my brain for a minute. You have an opportunity that a lot of other musicians out there may not have a chance. Like I said, they're kind of maybe stuck in a warehouse or something. What sacrifices have each of you made personally to keep this band alive?
Man, a lot of money for one.
Yeah. Most of the money, we fund most of this stuff.
We're definitely in the red by quite a bit. I don't ever expect to get out of it.
Yeah, I don't make music
it
to make money.
Sponsors.
Maybe someday. I mean, I even hear some of the bands that that I go on, like see them on tour, and as far as I know, even they're like they have jobs back in their hometown, and they're just saving up so they can rent a van and go out on tour, or just get enough to get some gas money, and just crowd surf across the country and make it happen.
Making it happen.
But whether they're making money on tour or not seems like it's a toss up depending on the artist.
Yeah, it's that, and it sacrifice a lot of time as well. And I'm lucky enough, like I work from home, so I can practice during the day, or work on doing some of the social media stuff, or just come up with song ideas on the guitar while I'm waiting for things to break at work. So that's a lot different than somebody in a band, working in a warehouse. It's not able to devote, or to have that time to be able to spend, and time's important.
Yeah, absolutely. For working from home, do you get to utilize your voice?
What's that?
I said that voice of yours. Is that how you make that money? Is that the money maker?
Oh yeah, no, I'm an IT person.
Oh, okay.
We're both IT people.
Yeah, somehow that happened. Cool. We're both computer guys.
The computer guys.
Yeah. We always have an idea for someday starting a band. And my name's Derek, and Ryan's last name is Mooney, and so we're gonna call the band Derelict Moon.
There you go.
That's our like future psychedelic shoegaze band someday. You heard of it?
Someday maybe.
Yeah, we'll do it once punk rock is no longer needed. We'll whip out the shoegaze and start singing about tomatoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or when I can no longer yell and play saxophone as well.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that before we hit dad rock status, and then we have to switch to something a little bit more appropriate for the elders.
It takes a lot of energy on stage. We have a real high energy show.
I like the high energy shows. I know you guys mentioned tours and stuff with other bands, but have you thought or possibly have an opportunity to plan out a tour yet, or have going on one?
We, in the before times, Flam was supposed to go up and do a tour in Washington, but then, the pandemic happened. We actually just did a mini tour where we played a show up in Seattle, and then a bunch of the bands that played with us in Seattle came back and played a show with us in Portland, and that was pretty cool. We've been talking about doing a tour up to Seattle again, stopping in Olympia, because Olympia's just got a fantastic punk scene.
There's probably a West Coast tour in our books someday.
Yeah.
It's, Systemic Collapse has barely just been a band for like a year and like a month now. It's
a year and a month?
Yeah, something like that. We luckily we were able to really like launch off, the corpse of our previous band really helped us out. And our new bassist, which was a really lucky find, Ryan found him on I think a Portland music subreddit.
Yeah.
And he happened to live like 4 minutes away from my house too. So it was just super
corner.
Yeah. And Dave he's really awesome. We're so lucky to have Dave.
Oh.
And getting Dave, we got him basically right after our old bassist left, and we started up Systemic Collapse, and in less than 2 months we were playing a show.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and then
that's really cool.
It asked to open for a touring band and everything. That was super cool. It was a sold out show.
Hell yeah,
it is. It's been a surprising ride. I kind of figured when we started up this project, it would have kind of taken a little bit to get momentum again. But in all honesty, the momentum hit faster than our previous project, in less than a few months. Kind of seemed like just a reimagining really is what we needed for a little while, and definitely helped a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. That is awesome. Just slid right back in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been in the studio pretty heavily as well.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what's next?
We actually just laid down drums and scratch tracks for another 5 songs.
About a week ago.
Yeah, about a week ago. Oh, my friend Shandon has a studio, and so we're working through that.
Yeah, Shandon.
From the mixing is the lead singer from 4 Aspirin Morning. He got a company called Riot Bard, and forget what his new venture is, but he does a lot of video game music, video game voiceovers, and he's really good engineer and recording engineer. And he also has a really great idea, or a really good grasp on what Derek and I are really thinking of for the end project. So having him in a producer role as well has been fantastic, because he's able to be like, hey, I think this might be more what you're going for. And we're like, yeah, that's definitely in that realm. So we're really excited about that. Yeah, we got another 5 songs coming out. Hopefully we'll be done in the studio by the end of the year, and then have it mastered and released, probably hoping by like April.
Yeah, definitely before April, I think. It's going to be a little faster this time.
Yeah.
There we go. So we're going to roll into next year freaking heavy.
Yeah. We should have a new release by early spring.
Nice.
Yeah, just keep
where would you tell people to go like, follow, and subscribe right now so they can stay in tune with the
we have a website that goes to all of our things, and it's just systemiccollapse.com.
That easy?
That easy. Yep. We have the domain systemiccollapse.com.
Systemiccollapse.com.
Click on that and you'll get
that's a ring to it. Systemiccollapse.com.
And you can get to our Bands of Town feed, so you can, like, if you want to be notified when we're playing a show, all the other random music platforms we're on, and social media, etc.
Yeah, it's got the YouTube links. We recently dropped a video for Fuck the World, the remastered version. That actually, Shandon did the lyric video for us as well, the image and lyric video. You can find that on our site, or just look up Fuck the World by Systemic Collapse on YouTube. Blank TV picked it up, and they've been playing it as well. Got a bunch of views through that. It's a fun video. It's got some imagery of guillotining Elon. So that's fun.
Right on. The guillotine.
But yeah, that in line, with the album title, When Do We Riot? Or actually, no, sorry, Cut It Out. That was the one with the Elon and the guillotine.
Oh, okay. Cut It Out.
Yep.
Saturday night just got spicy. Welcome to the Spicy Ice Cream Party, going down every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Grab your favorite ice cream, stack your toppings, and pull up with your host with the Ghosts, Bounce Ball Boogie. This isn't just a party, it's a music showcase, a place where new artists get heard. For just 99 coins, your song gets played live for everyone to hear. No algorithms, no gatekeepers, just real ears. Get a live review from Bounce Ball Boogie and the creatures of the Boogieverse. And if your track hits hard, you might earn a personal invitation to a spotlight interview on the Underground Nation podcast. New music, real feedback, real exposure. This is where the underground gets discovered. Spicy Ice Cream Party, every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Pull up and let the Boogieverse hear you.
Well, guys, what is one powerful piece of advice you would give to a young musician out there, someone struggling financially, emotionally, or creatively, who still believes in their dream?
To find those windows of time in which you can work on your craft, and that there's no barrier to entry with music. In reality, you can go online and it's not going to be hard, but you can find some people who are absolutely have no clue about anything music, and they still sound good just because you can hear the human element there. It really, you don't need to go to like college or have been in any sort of like institution to where you were taught the fundamentals. Anyone can just go buy a $50 guitar from a pawn shop and look up some chords on the internet and just wang away. Just look up the folk punk genre. That's a good half of it. It's just really a bunch of kids who's picked up a guitar and just started screaming about everything that's going on in their head. It really doesn't, you don't have to sound good you don't have to sound good to yourself. Other people will hear something beautiful, even if you're super self-conscious about it. There's always people who love to just hear people singing about something, whether or not you're in tune or whether your voice sounds like this or that. It's music. Music is not like music. I feel like has been kind of warped, by the industry, this past like really century. Like music used to be a much more a communal thing. Like, it was, you go down to the tavern and watch the bard, do a few licks or something. Like, we've only had recorded music in our history for like the past, like not even couple centuries. Even music boxes are a very new technology of like the early 1800s. Like, and then, the Edison vinyl, the gramophone, like before then, the music was only live. You had to go see someone do it. Yep. And you know what? I bet people were a lot less picky about what they were hearing than they are now. Now we have like super overproduced things that are just like super sterile and clean. And that's what a lot of people expect. But in reality, there's a lot of value in just abandoning all that and just picking up any old instrument and just doesn't even have to be an instrument. You can literally just yell at the planet. As long as there's a rhythm to it of some sort, someone's probably going to listen. It doesn't really, you don't have to be an amazing artist to talk to your local venue and be like, hey, I know how to scream and wail my guitar for 45 minutes. And I guarantee some venues would be like, all right, here, I got a bill for you.
That's very cool. Very well said.
I'd say don't quit.
Yeah, don't quit.
And yeah, as Derek said, there's a magic in music, and there's just something really difficult to explain that you feel when you see people dancing and enjoying the music that you've written, that you've worked so hard to present. And I don't know if I'd trade that for the world. It's worth quite a bit. But just don't, don't give up. You'll find your crowd. There's beauty in flaw in music as well, as Derek was saying. Just keep going. Always just try and find your audience and try and find your voice. It's important to have some way to speak out. Otherwise, you just get stuck inside yourself too much, and nobody likes that.
Sometimes we need to find an audience. We kind of started this whole thing. I mean, not Systemic Collapse, but me and Ryan playing together. It was kind of just, it's just fun to play music with other people. Like, it's, even if you're not planning on like playing shows, there's plenty of bands out there who are just like people who just get together, every week or so, and they just like, plink at their instruments for a little while and then it's have fun, have a couple of beers or whatever. It doesn't have to be like something grand.
Yeah.
It's just, it can be for fun for some people.
I think the commoditization of music as a whole, especially, with the rock star status and everything that we saw in the past few decades, I think has really made people think that music is something that needs to be perfect, and that needs to be something that, that you're embarrassing yourself if you're not, Chappell Roan, sort of things. But why even bother? And it's really toxic in that sort of way, that sort of idea. And, you see it bleed over as well into people being like, well, I'm not going to make it big, so why even try, making this, being in this band and everything. And it's like, that's not the right attitude to have. And that's,
horrible
a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to sing, along with folks or sing along with the music, in public because, my voice is crap. And I really dislike that mentality. I think, everyone should be able to kind of, express themselves musically. And I think that there is a certain bravery in, kind of getting on stage and, especially the first few times and getting your music out there, because God knows we've played some shows that just fell completely flat, mostly with Flam, but yeah. So we haven't had any bad shows with Systemic Collapse yet, but
they come.
Every band has
every band has bad shows,
but like just there's just something so magical about music, and it's really sad that in society, we're kind of in a place where a lot of people don't get to enjoy creating music because they're afraid, of being thought of as weird or bad. And it's just, there's something liberating kind of being like, well, I don't give a shit. This is my music, I'm presenting it. So, here it is. We're just lucky enough that people like listening to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're definitely digging it here at the Underground Nation. That is for sure. Well, guys, was there any thank yous, shout outs, or anything we may have forgot to promote? Please take this time to shine.
Yeah, our bass player would be angry at us if we didn't say it. We were playing a show on New Year's Eve at the Heights Dana Fest. We're playing with a few of the local punk bands there. Definitely check us out on New Year's.
Yeah, and it's for a good cause. It's for the Dana Foundation, which gets instruments and music lessons to underprivileged kids.
Very cool.
And kids of color in Portland.
Yeah. It's the program that our bassist is kind of he's on like the board of it. And he put together a show last New Year's I think he called that one Dana Fest as well. But this is, I think, the last New Year's he's doing it for.
Yeah, the Dana Thompson Memorial Fund.
Yeah. She was like really involved.
She was
in the. I'll let you say.
Yeah, she was singing. I think she sang in a band called Dark Gun and the Vignettes, who we've played a couple shows with and are awesome. But she passed away, and so this is a way that they're remembering her through spreading music to kids who probably wouldn't have a chance otherwise to get into music.
Yeah, and that band will be playing on New Year's too. Dark Gun Vignettes will be playing on New Year's with us.
And let's see. I guess thanks Shandon for helping us out. And I really wish I remembered the name of his latest venture. But if you look at our music video, it's got his copyright on there.
Nice.
Yeah, check us out. Also check out our friend Star 69, an awesome ska band out of Portland.
Our old bassist from our previous project. Our old bassist, Benny, he's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, he was the first bassist for Flam. Also check out our friends.
He's in that band.
Yeah, check out our friends in Four Claws Deep. They're kind of a party ska band in Portland that we play with a bunch. But yeah, and just keep watching our website for more shows. Hopefully we'll be making it on a West Coast tour at some point in time here.
SystemicCollapse.com.
Yeah, Systemic Collapse.
Hey man, huge shout out to Systemic Collapse for pulling up to the Underground Nation podcast. This was real, raw, and exactly what the Underground needs right now. So if you're rocking with tonight's episode, make sure you head on over to SystemicCollapse.com and follow, and subscribe on wherever your favorite platform is of listening to music. And head on over to underground-nation.com, where we got articles, interviews, videos, merch, and so much more to come. This coming Christmas, the next issue of the Underground Nation magazine drops, featuring some legendary bands. And trust me, you do not want to miss this one. I'm your host with the Ghost Bounce Ball Boogie. Signing out, but stay tuned, because in the Underground Nation, the Underground never sleeps. Ever. You should. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Systemic Collapse.
Thanks,
guys. Thank you.
You've just experienced another raw and unfiltered episode of the Underground Nation podcast, featuring the powerful sounds and story of Systemic Collapse, alongside your host with the Ghost Bounce Ball Boogie. If you felt the energy, if you connected with the message, now it's time to show your support. Be sure to follow, and subscribe to Systemic Collapse on all social and streaming platforms, and stay tapped in with their journey as they continue to make noise in the underground. For more rising artists, exclusive content, and voices from beneath the surface, visit underground-nation.com. And if you're a band, artist, or entrepreneur ready to share your story with the world, submit your music, your brand, and your information to ugnpodcast@gmail.com for your chance to be featured. Until next time, stay real, stay loud, and remember, the underground is where legends are born.